Yo, what's happening? How y'all doing? It's been a little few days, and I'm back. Listen, let's get straight to the point. There's this amazing story in the Bible which I believe we all do know about. Uh, and it's the story of Peter when he denies Jesus. I just felt like God was really talking to me and really just saying, hey, look back at that story. And actually, there's something I want you to learn from that. Now I get to share with y'all. Great stuff. So let me just read the story real quick so y'all get what I'm talking about. So basically, or let me paraphrase it for you. Story of Peter, for those that don't know, where Jesus says to Peter, listen, buddy, Simon, Simon, whom which I have said I will, unto this rock I will build my church. That guy. So Jesus says to him, look, buddy, the devil has asked for you. He wants to sift you like wheat. But don't worry about it, because I prayed for you. Um, and I've prayed that your faith may not fail. Um, um, but at the same time, when you do return, I want you to actually strengthen your brethren. And Simon Peter is like, God, you're tripping. You're tripping real big time. I'm your home. I go to prison with you. Uh, I'll even go to death with you. You know what I'm saying? I can't deny you. Um, and then Jesus says to him, yeah, that's sweet, bro. But I tell you, uh, I'm telling you that before the end of today, you're going to deny me 3 times before the rooster even crows, buddy. Before 6 o'clock, you're going to deny me. I just made that time up. I don't know what time the rooster crows, but yeah, before the rooster crows, 6 o'clock, you're going to deny me. What I see with Peter is that Peter really trusted in his faith in Jesus. Peter really trusted that he loves Jesus so much. And I really believe that Peter meant well when he said to Jesus, yo, you tripping, bud. I mean, I'm going to ride with you until death. Even if it means we in prison. I think he meant well. But what I really realized at the same time, but I think he might have been thinking of it in a flashly way, and I guess that's why he had to, when actually Judas betrays Jesus, Peter's the one that grabs the sword and thinks, I'm your ride or die. And he cuts the one guy's ear off, and Jesus is like, "Nah, hold on." But I think that's why I think maybe he thought of it in a flashly way, like I will fight, uh, that nothing happens to you, But I don't think Jesus was talking about fleshly things. But he might have been confused by that. But I really do think he meant well, because I feel like that's what happens with us too. We really mean well when we say, you know what, I will die for God. I will do whatever for God, until we're placed in those situations where our brethren and our brothers and sisters in certain parts of the world, they actually dying for the faith. Until you placed in a situation where you actually could die for the faith, then would we really know? Then only will we understand what it means when he says, "You're going to deny me." Then only then are we faced with kind of like a situation that is expecting of us, or pushing us to choose in between. Am I going to say, nah, I don't know Jesus? Or am I going to say, yes, he's still Lord, regardless of what you want? He still reigns. He's still Christ the Messiah. And if it means I die for it, so be it. I'm going to be obedient unto him until death do me. Only when we in those situations, because we really know how strong the faith that we have is. And they don't always have to be extreme. But what I really like about the story is that, first of all, the enemy had to ask for Peter, but then even in his asking, Jesus still prays and covers Peter. Jesus still prays at the right hand of the Father, and he covers us. Jesus did cover us and is still continuously covering us with his blood that was shed on the cross, and he rose. So we are covered, and we are still covered by him. But he says to him, yeah, I prayed, so I've covered you basically in prayer, that your faith may not fail. And what really struck me about this next statement, he says, when you do return to me, strengthen your brethren. Meaning Jesus knew the fact that there will be a time where he turns his back against me. But I do know he will return. So he's already speaking about his return. This shows me that grace is an act. Grace forgives before the act actually even begins. I see grace in motion here before Peter even does anything. He says, when you do return, do strengthen your brethren. But I have prayed for you. And then when Peter is like, yeah, whatever, dude. But what really I've learned about this story and what really God was saying to me is that, hey, here's something. If God says it, if Jesus says it, it's only a matter of time till it happens. If Jesus has said to Peter, you're going to deny me, it's only a matter of time till he does it. If Jesus says to us, Mahali, you will go through trials and tribulations. You will deny me. You will, experience 1, 2, and 3. If he said it, it's only a matter of time till it happens. And that only doesn't go with our promises, but it also goes with the other things like hardship and struggle. It's only a matter of time till it happens. But what he was really saying to me is that, what Peter could have possibly done in that moment is, instead of being so believing in himself and his faith and his love towards God, he could have believed in his word and said, Lord, if really I'm going to deny you, is there a way I could not deny you? Could you show me a way where I actually can go against denying you and actually accept you and receive you? Is there a way that I may not actually displease you? Could you show me if there is another way? Instead of being puffed up and saying, yeah, I got this. I know you might rather die. And being confused with what he's really actually saying, how about we actually get to ask him, Lord, could you grant me understanding? Could you grant me the wisdom to actually turn away from what actually displeases you and what actually says to you that I am denying you? Could you give me that wisdom? Could you give me that knowledge to know, God, that, hey, let me not go there. Could you enable me with your spirit, God, and give me the strength, Father, and the boldness? I feel like as Christians nowadays, we need a whole lot of boldness to actually say no to a lot of things, even though they look good to the eye, but they're not pleasing unto the Father. See, could you give me the boldness, the courage, God, to actually not deny you? I think that's the deepest lesson I learned from this whole entire story is the fact that if God said it, then it's only a matter of time. And what's really important is that we really start taking God at his word and start saying, God, if you really are saying it, is there another way I can actually turn this around? And we also see the kind of example where, though it was more important for God's will to be done for Jesus, he sits in the garden and says, God, is there another way that we can actually get to save these people without me going through the cross? That's an example of if God has said something, let's approach him with that attitude, with that posture. Hey, Lord, is there another way? If this one is going to be displeasing to you, is there another way? But even in that asking, I think what we learn from Jesus' ask in the garden is his will still needs to be much more important than finding another way. But most importantly, if God has said something, it's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. And I hope you're encouraged by that. And I hope you would have the confidence to approach him and say, Lord, if you really have said this, is there another way? Peter, you're going to deny me. God, is there another way? I don't want to deny you. Like our heart's postures need to be so humble towards him, and let's not end up being those Christians that are just so sure of ourselves. Like, I'm so sure. I don't know what it's going to be like if somebody had a gun to my head and said, dude, Jesus is not real. What do you say? and they expected me to deny, I don't know what I would do. But right now, where I sit, I can easily say, look, if you want to take my life for Christ, so be it. Because for me to die for Christ and in Christ is gain. It's easy for me to say that. But at the same time, I could say, yo, God, check my heart. I know I'm saying that right now with faith. And I'm definitely passionate and sure about it. That's why I feel like Peter meant well. Because he was passionate and sure about the fact that he would go to prison, he would go die for God. You know? Check my heart though. Is that real in me? And I think sometimes we need to ask ourselves those questions. Is it really real in me? Would I really just do that? And yeah. Look, hope it really helps somebody. Hope it speaks to somebody. It's a long video that I did, but you know what I'm saying. Gotta get the word out there. Hey, remain in God. May God continue to keep you. May you continue to experience His grace. Beautiful amount of grace that He continues to pour out to us. But most importantly, may our hearts be postured to please Him continuously at all times. I pray that in Jesus' mighty name. And may you continue to flourish and have an abundant life because Jesus really loves you. Cheers.